33 to 45 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly, 33:45 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly, 33 zu 45 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly, 45 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly.
I listen to 33:45 West on Flirt FM. Ciao Joe Kelly, you're the best of the West.
I listen to 33:45 West on Flirt FM. I love the electronic sound.
33:45 West Flirt FM. 33:45 West is best. Joe Kelly, Flirt FM.
It's a special show. Of course, there's always music on the show, but this week I will be premiering an interview with a former assistant editor of the BBC and also a tour manager for Green Day, Mr. Enda Twomey, who, as we spoke with earlier this week, live, well, not so live, but pre-recorded, let's tell the truth, from central London. But nonetheless, I'm going to start off with a tune. This is from Magnetic Family. This is called Aerial. Also, we will premiere a tune from a new artist who is called Childsmind, also from the Kilkenny area, much like Mr. Twomey, and that will come sooner in the show. Or sorry, they'll come later in the show as well. Of course, I'm all frajazzled all the way, if that makes any sense. If it's not rude. Look, it's been a long day. I'm fried, but I'll keep going.
West, Joe Kelly, 3345 West, Flat FM. You are listening.
So that track is from Magnetic Family. It's called Aerial, Best of Deep House, coming off the channel EELF, or EELF if you like. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful Deep House. We'll have more Deep House. We've got a very unique Deep House track as well to play with interludes of Mick McCarthy that used to play for Ireland. The man from Barnsley with the long throw and a terrible first touch, according to Roy Keane, of course. But nonetheless, we have a very good interview to present here tonight. It's the interview I had, a discussion with Mr. Enda Twomey, who had worked as an assistant editor with the BBC for over 25 years and also had worked as a tour manager, working with some notable bands such as Green Day, the Franken Walters, and a good few more. Nonetheless, I'll let Mr. Twomey do most of the talking now from this point onwards, and thereafter we are premiering a tune also from a new artist based in Kilkenny and the southeast area. So that artist is called Childsmind, and the song is called Release, so do stay tuned for that after the interview. For now, enjoy the interview. Been accustomed to the music industry for many years, an expat and a London Irisher now, a former say gig guide all through the harder days in Ireland. Mr. Enda Twomey of the parish of St. Pancras. How are you?
Very well, thanks. So how are you?
I'm not too bad, Enda. It's good to hear from you again.
Great to hear from you.
And could you tell me, Enda, how's life in London?
Well, I'm happy with life in London because I'm very busy setting up a news session. But I think there's a lot of very unhappy people in this country at the moment because we're going through, they claim it's not a recession, but as far as I'm concerned, it is a recession.
Okay, I suppose I could feel that myself when I was there. There's no doubt about it. Like, you know, I could definitely feel the change in mood. You know, what parts of Ireland you're from?
I was born in a nursing home in Waterford City on the 1st of August 1963.
Yes.
But I was brought up in South Kilkenny in a very small village called Newmarket. Yeah. It consisted of about 8 houses, a church, a shop, and a school.
Okay.
No pub. Unbelievable.
No pub. So you made up for that later in life.
No pub. There had been a pub there about 100 years previous, but that was a long time before I was around.
Okay, very good. And then you went to school in Kieran's, did you, in Kilkenny?
I went to Kieran's in Kilkenny. Both my parents were primary school teachers, and they taught me in that school in Newmarket.
Very good.
My father came from West Cork, Ballybourney.
Yeah.
An Irish-speaking part of Ireland. Yeah. And my mother came from near Achill.
Yeah.
Another Irish-speaking part of Ireland.
County Mayo.
So I was more fluent in Irish by the age of 11 than English, actually.
Very good, very good. Good man, yeah. Oh, yeah, Twomey. Sure, Twomey's a real Cork name. You know, so it's not really Kilkenny name, you know, Twomey. But anyway,
no.
These days it doesn't matter because we're all scattered about, you know. Everyone's
all scattered all over.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. But one time, it kind of used
to
be.
So, I did my secondary education in Kieran, which is a very famous hurling school.
Yes.
And its motto is Hiem Transit in Latin.
Yes.
Which means winter has passed. Because it was the first Catholic school set up in Ireland after the repeal of the penal laws. It was set up in 1782.
Yes. Very good. And
so it has an awful lot of history attached to it.
Did you go to university in Ross? Where did you go to university?
I went to Trinity in Dublin.
If I'd known that, I would have got the Moet out for you, you know.
Well, I went there to cause devilment, really.
Say that again?
I went there to cause devilment, Joe.
No, good man yourself. Yeah, yeah. Well, two
I was only 17 when I started in Trinity.
Yeah, two national
in
school.
1980.
Yeah, two national school teaching parents. Yeah, definitely.
And I had my 2-2 by the time I was 19.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Good man. And then what happened then? Tell us.
Well, I tried to set a publishing business up in Dublin, but it was very difficult.
Yes.
So I emigrated to Manhattan.
To New York.
And on a one-way ticket, bizarrely enough.
Yeah.
And I spent 16 months in Manhattan.
Very good.
Now, as a lot of people did in those days, that was the mid-80s, I overstayed my visa.
Yes.
And I was going to get a green card, but it didn't work out, so that's the way life goes.
Yeah. After Manhattan, you came to London?
After Manhattan, I came back to Ireland briefly, and then I was in London for about 6 months again.
Yeah.
And then I moved to West Berlin.
Very nice.
Where my sister Fidelma was living.
Very nice, yeah.
So I had a foothold in West Berlin before the wall came down.
Lovely.
Around about 1986, 87.
Lovely.
And I spent 18 months in West Berlin, and I learned German there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I worked at various jobs, parquet flooring for a company there.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a driving license.
Yes.
So they wanted me to get one. So I came back to Ireland to get my driving license when I was 25.
Yes.
And I got my driving license. And I was on my way back to West Berlin. But West Berlin is very cold in the winter.
Yeah,
like
I know. Yeah. I was in Germany during the winter.
So I stopped off in London. I said I'd wait till the spring.
Yeah,
and that was 7 months before the wall came down.
Very good.
And I've been in London.
It was a pinnacle moment in history to be in Berlin at that time, because...
Oh, absolutely. And I could sense that something big was going to happen.
Yeah, sometimes that can be the way.
This is like when Reagan came and made his speech, Mr. Gorbachev tear down that wall and all that.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
So it was a very seismic moment, as you say, in world history.
Oh, it was. I remember it well. I was only 10.
Yeah.
I remember it well, but, I kind of got to like the idea of the DDR, though. It looked like a nice country. Everyone had a job. Everyone had a house.
It was good in theory, but in practice it wasn't that good. Because I actually travelled across it a bit. And I don't think people enjoyed living there.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Not in the end. It wasn't enough for them,
No.
It wasn't enough.
There were a lot of...
The
society was very big, and there was a lot of people informing on each other and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, that's no way to live. That's not freedom. Well, George Orwell was right.
He was, actually. He was very right about a couple of things. Uncannily so. And
he was.
And in the early 1950s, or when did he come up with these prophecies? It was the 1930s or 40s, or it was around then. But he was
in the Spanish Civil War in 37.
Yeah.
And he was writing prior to that.
Yeah.
As a journalist and as an author of books.
That's right.
So he was doing a lot of writing in I think now, I couldn't pin it down, I might be wrong, but certainly in the early 30s, maybe late 20s, he started out.
He did, he made some extraordinary prophecies. And they still stand up to this day, which is unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. But how about your time in London again? With you worked in media then, didn't you?
I did various things then in London, and bits and pieces. I was a bike courier for about a year and a half. I fell into the music business then because a friend of mine, Keith Collins, who was a bike courier as well, was setting up a record label, which some Irish people might have heard of, Satanta Records.
Satanta Records,
yeah. And so we used to go to a lot of gigs together in London. The late 80s, the early 90s was fantastic for indie-type gigs in London, I thought.
Yeah.
A huge amount of bands here.
Very
and
good.
the Enemy was active, and Sound and Melody Maker and all that. It was a very good time.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the dance scene was going on as well in parallel to that, actually.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff going on in London. It was an interest. There was a big kind of anti-Thatcher movement in London and in the rest of the country as well.
Mm.
You know.
Mm.
So I was a part of that. I went through that period in English history, British history.
Mm.
And so I had a driving license, and we started off with a few bands that Keith had on his label. And we started doing gigs, and I used to drive them around. And then I discovered there was actually an occupation called tour management.
Yeah.
So I fell into that for 10 years and went all over the world with various different bands as a tour manager.
Very good.
From my mid-20s to my mid-30s.
Very good. And any noticeable bands that we would have heard of?
Well, a lot of Irish people have heard of Frank and Walters, who I worked with for about 2 years.
Yeah.
From Cork.
And you were
and there was a very good band from Dublin called Into Paradise.
Yeah.
Who never made it, but had a very good record deal and all that. And
yeah.
The record company, Enda, they were called. There was Sinead O'Connor's record label.
Yeah.
They thought they were like the Irish Talking Heads. They were that good. But just the vagaries of the music industry meant they never made it. Whereas the Frank and Walters had a reasonable success.
Yeah.
But then I went on to do a lot of American bands like Rocket from the Crypt, John Spencer Blues Explosion, Archers of Low.
Yeah.
Kind of underground American bands. And the biggest one of those I did was Green Day.
Green Day, wow. Very good. Good man.
Which I did for a few gigs here in the UK. And I got on very well with them, but they wanted to continue working with me. But various things happened and it didn't work out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I fell out of the music industry then.
Yeah.
And I did a course in broadcast journalism here in London. I had been money. It was an expensive course.
Yes.
And it was difficult to get on, but I got a place on it when I was 35.
Good man.
That lasted a year. And I got a job as a broadcast journalist with the BBC 2 weeks after I finished it.
Good man. Very good. So then on your time at the BBC, I'd say it was what kind of company was it to work for? A good organisation to work for?
Well, I worked for them, Joe, for about 22 years. Or 23 years. But I always say to people, I really enjoyed my first 18 years. The last 4 or 5 years I didn't enjoy.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
That's the way it was. I mean, I was kind of climbing the ladder, as it were. I rose to the position of assistant editor there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And then they had a rationalisation programme and I got demoted. And it was very difficult.
Yeah.
So then I had a heart attack when I was 54.
Yeah.
In the newsroom.
Wow.
And I had to have a heart procedure 7 months later, which saved my life, actually.
Okay.
And so I gave it up.
Oh,
and now I just want to do my own thing.
Yeah, so that's the time in the BBC. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I suppose it's like anything, like, you're too long in a job and then, you enjoy it for a good while, and then it just becomes a job, maybe after a long period of time.
Well, it's no more than what you did here in the UK, Joe.
The graphic arts is my hobby.
I got that wrong.
Because I hardly drink, so I need something to fill in the time. It's either play football and do graphics and make music. So I don't drink that. I don't drink, really at all. Rarely, very rarely. So when you have all this free time, when you don't go to the pub,
you never know what life is going to throw at you.
Well, drink wasn't going to help me. I knew that.
No.
So drink wasn't going to help
Everything
me.
in moderation, I say.
Yeah, I was road to Damascus then, a road to Damascus.
Yeah.
As they call it, and near the town.
Galway is a great city. And I've always enjoyed myself in Galway.
It can be, Enda. Yeah, it can be. Very much so.
Yeah, like anything. What I always say to people about London is a great place to live.
Yeah.
But you have to get away from London every so often or it'll drive you mad.
Galway's the same. Galway's the same, yeah. I have to go to Cork the odd time, go to Dublin the odd time, go to Waterford the odd time, go to London the odd time.
Or head out to Connemara for a big walk.
I'd do that, yeah. Go to Connemara, go to Clifton, maybe. I prefer probably going to Clare, County Clare. I like going to County Clare.
Clare is lovely.
Isn't it?
I've actually thought, as in playing music to make money.
Oh, busked. Sorry, I didn't know what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, good man. Yeah. It's a good town
I
for
was
that.
playing saxophone, and my sister pajama was tap dancing.
Very
And
good.
we used to make a fortune.
Yeah, you would, yeah. Yeah, in the summertime. You would in summertime here, yeah. Busking, it's not too bad.
On Market Street and in the pubs and all that.
Shop Street, yeah.
Oh, Shop Street, that's it.
Yeah, Market Street. Is there a Market Street? There's a High Street. Yeah, maybe there might. No, I don't. There is a Market Street. There is. I think there is. But Shop Street's the main street. There, so it is. So it's a High Street, then goes off, and I think that's Market Street. It goes off down to the left. I think. You don't quote me on that. I don't really. I just I walk down them. I know where they are. There's one street.
Yeah.
It's one big street. That's all really.
You don't look at the street thing.
I know where it is, but you know what I mean. You wouldn't bother unless. The only time I looked at the street names is when I was doing a little bit of planning work. That was it.
Yes.
Where is it based? The location, Lombard Street, blah blah blah. Dominic Street, Upper, blah blah blah. This kind of thing. It doesn't really matter, but to me in general. But it's only one street anyway, as people say. It's only one street really, but it's not true. There's a bit more to it than that. But yeah, you would make money.
What's the population of Galway?
The last count, I think it was around metropolitan area. You could call it up on the 100k in the metropolitan area nearly. Not even, no, 77, 78, 77,000. Yeah, not that big.
Yeah, that's big enough actually. That's big enough.
Regional.
The population of Kilkenny is a lot smaller than that.
It will be. Kilkenny's a nice little town, though. You know what I mean? It's a nice wee town, Kilkenny. Neat, Galway's more of a regional Irish city,
I really I don't go back to Ireland that much now because both my parents have passed away. But
yeah,
I have a sister and a brother living in Kilkenny, and I always stay with my sister.
Yes, and
I like Kilkenny city, and I like walking around. It's very compact.
It is. It's very nice.
It's got a castle, 2 cathedrals, and
yeah.
I would say to your listeners, if you wanted to see a really nice building as well that you might not go to see, go up to see St. Kieran's College.
I did go up there.
That's a beautiful old building.
I was up there when I was a kid. We played James Stevens. So we did the hurling.
Yeah.
We were playing hurling as kids.
Yeah.
The Kilkenny people were really, really nice to us. Really nice to us, and yeah.
And you have a Kilkenny man training your hurling team at the moment.
I think so. Henry Shefflin, isn't he? He's training at Galway, yeah.
That's right. Well, he played hurling about 3 miles from where I grew up in Newmarket.
Yeah.
He has a number of brothers. They were brilliant hurlers.
Yeah, they are a good hurling family. I hear, I hear that all right, yeah. But yeah, they were very nice. I remember my time with James Stevens when we were 10. We went on a tour down to them on invite. So, and they fed us and everything, it was great, and they really were really, really nice to us. So, yeah, I'll never forget that one, yeah, for sure. I used to because my cousins lived in Waterford. So occasionally, in the summertime, we'd take a trip down to Waterford.
Sure.
And we'd stop in Kilkenny on the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was always a nice little lay-by for us. Care was as well. If we
it
came,
was a good stop-off thing.
yeah, if we came from Galway we'd stop in Care, and then if we went from the Dublin side, we'd stop in
Care is
Kilkenny.
a nice castle in it.
It is, yeah. That's what we
I
used to
know
live by. Yeah. That's how I know it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Ireland, and I'm proud to be from Ireland.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, I'll probably never settle back in Ireland again.
Well, maybe not. You don't know.
Because I like the sunshine, Joe.
Yeah, I suppose London has a bit of that.
But I won't stay in London for the rest of my life either. I won't.
Spain or Wexford.
Wexford would be all right.
Courtown, yeah.
Nice people.
Court Town. Over town and Court. For the crack.
I'll tell you where it's very nice, in Waterford. It's
Tremor. Yeah, Dungarvan is nice. Yeah, Dungarvan is nice.
Dungarvan is beautiful.
It is lovely, yeah. I like Dungarvan, yeah. I do. My uncle lived in Tremor, so we the best of both worlds. We used to go from
We
used to go from Galway.
Great beach in Tremor.
Exactly. We go from one good beach to another good beach. You know, we come from Galway, you know, we have Salt Hill, it's only, 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. And then you go to Tremor and the beach is only you walk down the hill there, so it was great,
Yeah.
But it was all the Atlantic and it was lovely, but there was a fine beach in Tremor as well. Yeah, fine beach, but lots to do and see around the seaside there. Spent many a summer down there, so I did, messing, myself, and I made a friend down there, yeah. That was the interview with Mr. Enda Twomey. Sorry about the last part there, I should have edited that out, but sure, time nor tide waits for no man nor woman, and the last part of editing there, I just didn't have the time, to be quite honest. There's no point giving you a throwaway answer or a throwaway excuse. Nonetheless, staying with the southeast, we have a new song from an artist from Wexford. So we're staying kind of. Enda himself there is from Kilkenny, and as you see, he has extensive experience working with bands like Green Day and Frank and Walters, and also had 25 years working with the BBC in London. So now he's doing a newsletter from the parish of St Pancras, which is the very middle of London, central London. And so hopefully that goes well for him, and I wish him the best of luck with it. Anyway, to make a long story short, we have this new premiere. This is from Eden Cummins, also known as Childsmind, from Castlebridge in County Wexford. The song is called Release. So, without further ado, I would like to present this to you. Enjoy. Sorry about that. That is not Eden Cummins. This is Eden Cummins.
You
Okay, that was the new track from Childsmind, or aka Eden Cummins, all the way from the sunny southeast in Castlebridge and Wexford. That was his song Release. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Yeah, I think that's a good part of the 3345 West Youth Development Squad. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely worth a run out, no doubt about that. Speaking of football, I think we've got another marriage between electronic music and football. And we've got Mick McCarthy. We've got the Mick McCarthy remix and the Deep House track. I think it's an excellent track, actually. And interludes of Mick himself going through the tune. So without further ado, I think I'm going to play that. Yeah, great Deep House track, though. I mean, Mr. Whoever, like, the channel is just called Tipperary. So we're slowly moving out through the southeast and ending up back in the west again. But whoever Tipperary is, if this is the Deep House track you made, I'd like to get the instrumental version of this. So if you can, maybe reach out, it'd be great. Anyway, big old Mick. Yeah, fair play to him. And, yeah, oh my good God, I need 3 hands.
Fans will be right up for it tomorrow. They don't want to see us get slapped. Yeah. Give him a nudge and tell him to shut his gob and support it. Come on, Offski. And I said to TC, get that number out, and he said, oh, I said, you know who? Yeah. So it's not about one individual, it's about the whole team. It's got to be. Tell him to shut his gob. Tell him to shut his gob. Tell him to shut his gob. It's got to be. Tell him to shut his gob. Tell him to shut his gob. Tell him to shut his gob. It's got to be. Offski. Yeah. Come on, Offski. Yeah.
The Mick McCarthy Deep House track. I thought it was fantastic, the Mick McCarthy Deep House track. Yeah. Mick is a nice man, I must say. That whole thing that went on with Roy, and I like, both of them. I think they were great for Ireland. Like, of course, personalities will clash. Mick is more of a level-headed sort of fellow, whereas Roy is, a warrior by trade. And sometimes when those two kind of personalities meet, it can, not be compatible to stay around one another for a long period of time. But nonetheless, the Mick McCarthy School of English and long throws. All right, lovely. We're going to move on. More Deep House. This is from the Aljon Men. This is called Vanilla.
3345 West is best. Joe Kelly, 3345 West. Flat FM. 33 to 45 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly, 3345 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly, 33 zu 45 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly, 35 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly.
Deep house tune from the Aljo Men called Vanilla. Absolutely, gorgeous deep house. More deep house. Crank it up a bit then. 'From Philo, it's called Palais. Yeah, I totally forgot this track. There's a lot of bad language in it. No. Yeah, sorry about that. No, it's not going to do it. Sorry. That's more for playing out live. Sorry, I can't do that. It's, there's too much bad language in that. Sorry about that. Yeah. This is a better track, yeah. This is from Lem Tom. It's called Namericana. So Americana.
33 to 45 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly, 3345 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly, 33 zu 45 West Flirt FM Joe Kelly.
West Flirt FM. 3345 West is best. Joe Kelly, Flirt FM.
So that track is from Lem Tom. It's called N'Americana. It's from the LP Fair Income. So maybe he's from Australia. You can get that also on the Elf channel. The Elf channel on YouTube. Yeah, it's a lot of good deep house. That's more progressive house. Well, believe it. Yeah. Let's get into a big genre arguments about this one. Yeah. The technicalities. More progressive house, but nonetheless, yeah, it's a good track. I'm going to play one of my own tracks actually, where that was kind of remastered and re-released. Albeit it was produced in 2021 as part of the Expo 2021 album that I posted up on YouTube. So that was the kind of the portfolio of music. Creation throughout the year during COVID, actually during the height of COVID. So that's when it got busy with the music, which is great. I'm glad I did it. So I'm in the make of a few new tracks at the moment. One, it's actually quite deep house. So the last kind of track I made was kind of dark states. It was more kind of bit of a dark one, nonetheless housey tech house. And then the one before that was a little bit more uplifting. It was Uptown Love. Yeah, that a lot of people seem to like that track. When I mean a lot of people, I mean Galway size a lot of people. So more than 20. That's decent. It's decent in a regional town, city, should I say? Anyway, yeah. Without further ado, this is Nemesis by Josheen. This is the moniker I have for the music production and DJing. Yeah, enjoy.
45 West is best. Joe Kelly, Flirt FM.
One of my remastered and re-release tracks, Nemesis by Joshine on the Joshine channel. So yeah, very good. I like that one. It's a thumper, that one. It's good for an end of set type of tune, you know. Nonetheless, I want to give a few shout outs before I go. So a big shout out to Simon, Ashley, Stephen, Perva, who else is there? Kevin, Neve, oh my god, Johnny, Isaac. I'm just it's a lottery of all these names and the shout outs, but in general, everyone there that's working at Atlantic, so you're doing a fine job. Keep it up. Fair play to you. It's a very positive language school. Fair play to you all. And